So what is in the sewing room? Let's talk about embellishing something that you're making out of a wedding dress. This is handy for little angel gowns or for the other project that I am doing, which is a christening gown. So I'm going to show you right here. I have some very pretty lace that has come from a wedding dress. So very pretty lace, but it's also very large. It's a big piece of lace and it's kind of long. I mean, this was all the way around the entire bottom of the dress. So there's a lot of this lace. This is just a small piece. But what if you wanted to use some of this lace, but you didn't want to use that whole motif? Well, there are a few things you can do. What if you just want to take the flower or this flower? This flower is really a good one for trimming because it is actually surrounded by open space. Right here, you can just trim close, but not too close on the lace. And you can actually take the little leaf with it or cut between the leaf and the flower. You can include this little stem with the little buds on it, or you could cut on this side of the stem. So if you want a smaller motif, you can do that. I discovered when I was working on this that there was a little tiny stain right there. You see that little stain? This is probably a little drip of a champagne stain from back on the wedding day. Now, it's 30 years later. That's not going anywhere. Darn, I can't use it. Well, there are a couple things you could do. One, you could take off, if that was the piece you were using, you could take off a piece and just stitch it over. Or you could remove the part and put another part on top of it. Or what I did was I just trimmed it there and had the piece that I was using start next to that. So lots of things you can do if you are using an original trim, but this is something that I would do. I had another place on it where having this whole piece sticking up was not going to be pretty, so I just tucked it down and to see what it would look like if, because there was lace that would come down here. I tucked it down. I loved it, so I just trimmed it off, folded the edge under and stitched it, but then there was not this extra tall piece. So a lot of different things you can do with fine laces. If you want to use some of it, what if you used, ooh, this is an idea. What if you just took this scallop edge and instead of making it the side, what if that was a bottom piece? And then you could layer in another scallop edge next to it that way. That might be kind of interesting. It does involve cutting, but again, you're just going to trim right close to that edge. I would trim right there along that edge, right along there. And you could use it that way. Or you could use, I don't know, maybe those leaves would be good for something. So a lot of times a large lace is too big to use on a little angel gown, but a piece of that lace might be just perfect.